Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of Gorringe's Auctions based in the UK. We're going to have a look at one of their latest auctions which does have some musical instruments. I say some, I mean about 40 out of the 550 or so lots are musical instruments, but still there's a few curious things. And as I always say, even the smaller auctions with not many instruments, sometimes you can find some curious stuff. And I think there is one very interesting violin in this auction, so we shall check it out and see what we can find. This particular auction is finishing on the 23rd of October. It is the 20th today, so a few days left to go. As always, I'll put a link in the description. Check it out, see what you think. Just to say, this is a UK based auction, so if you're looking to bid from overseas, bear that in mind. Might be kind of import, export fees, etc., shipping fees, CITES restrictions of kind of prohibited materials, etc., etc., all of that fun. Looks like the buyer's premium is 25% if you're buying kind of in person, and possibly up to 30% if you're buying online. They do run their auctions also through the Sale Room and Easy Live, so check that out as well if you're interested. Just to say, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider liking, subscribing or commenting, because it really does help. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get on with it and see if we can find any musical instruments. So I think the first musical instrument is actually a lot 201 or 209, or maybe it's 279. I completely forget. It's somewhere around here, maybe a bit further than I remembered. Sorry, 301 there. So we've got an Arbiter Pro Sound wooden bodied clarinet, 60 to 80. I don't think we need to look into that too much. Got a cased Lindo clarinet there, 60 to 80. Once again, not really needing to look at that. A Hora Russian balalaika model M1080, estimate 40 to 60. Someone's already bid £10 on that. Once again, I don't think we need to look at that. Let's have a look at this. A Fratelli Hazeman Napoli mandolin, 20th century. Got a few pictures here. Looks fairly standard. I don't think it's the worst mandolin, so fairly interesting. 40 to 60, not possible for postage. I think they probably mean their internal postage system. I'm sure that you can arrange a courier to arrive if you want. Lot 305 here. John Gray & Sons, 8-string banjolele, and a Hona melodica. Interesting lot there, 70 to 100. Seems potentially a little bit optimistic. We've got a cased Bernardi piano accordion there. Oh, nice collection of 32 musical handbells. These are actually handbells. Decent handbells are pretty expensive, so it does make sense that these are a fairly high estimate, 5 to 700. Full chromatic scale there, circa 1900. Interesting. Be curious to see how well that sells, but like I said, a full set of handbells, that's pretty expensive to buy new. Marlin Slammer electric guitar there, and a cased Squire Strat by Fender. Don't think we need to look too deep into those. Got a Jupiter student trombone, 6-string banjo unmarked. Got a Squire Strat by Fender there, and another Squire Strat. Rockburn electric guitar, that's pretty low budget, and a JCX Stargazer, once again pretty low. Aria acoustic, not too exciting. A cased banjo ukulele, 40 to 60. Let's have a look at that. Interesting headstock on that one, 40 to 60. Another not possible for postage. They've got a good few photos here in the auction house, and they're pretty good quality, so that is good to see. Looks like an interesting banjo ukulele. Got a few violins here. Let's have a look, see if we can see anything. A cased 20th century German violin, 80 to 100. Let's see if we can have a look at these pictures a bit. So the pictures are pretty good. Ooh, yeah, you can kind of zoom in quite a bit, so not bad. Yeah, this is a standard kind of trade violin from the 20th century, and not too bad condition it seems. 80 to 100 on that is quite fair, I think. 3/4 student violin, don't think we need to really look at that. Rossetti viola, Stradivarius model, another kind of trade instrument. Let's have a look at this cased late 19th, early 20th century French violin with a Guarnerius label. Let's see what's going on here. Once again, not too bad. Let's see what kind of estimates they are looking at. I think that's kind of an okay instrument. That's unfortunate, kind of crack there. 100 to 150. It'd be interesting to see, because this is potentially a little bit away from the soundpost area, but you might want to look at that in a bit more detail, but nothing super exciting, to be honest. What else do we have here? A wooden cased student violin. Let's just have a quick look. Always good to have a look at the backs of these. 80 to 120 on that. Yeah, it does look like a kind of trade violin of some kind, like a lower level one. Let's see, a cased early 20th century French violin, 100 to 150. Got a Strad label. I don't think it's anything super exciting. This just looks like, yeah, trade stuff. I'm quite impressed with the pictures actually on Gorringe's. We've come across them before, I think, on the sale room, so they know what they're doing. Silver mounted conductors baton there. Mid 20th century Sicilian Sicilian and Co mahogany baby grand, 2 to 400. Some good pictures there of it in the sale room. Not a lot of information, but you can probably see from the pictures. 19th century Sebastian Erard harp there, 800 to 200. Another one here, a 7 pedal harp by Sebastian Erard. These are pretty low estimates. I mean, Erard, like, really fine harp maker, and then later piano maker. Really nice instruments here, but probably needs extensive restoration. It might not even be cost effective really, but that's an interesting looking harp there. Let's have a look at some more of the detail. These are really great pictures, and they're really quite clear for a general auction. These are very good pictures. Let's have a look at the other one here. So other Erard, once again, very nice looking harp there. In that classical style, yeah, beautiful instruments there. 1980s electric guitar by Ibanez. Laser series. These are alright. It comes with an amp as well. Fender Frontman, 2 to 300. And we've got another violin here, 19th century German, they're saying Stradivarius style. Varnish looks like it's had a bit of a tough life. Yeah, it does seem once again like a fairly standard trade instrument, I would think, but slightly curious. Let's see what else we can see. A violin by Luthiers, Paris. I think it's probably meant to say Luthiers, I guess. 40 to 60. I wonder if there's a picture of the label. Hard to know what's going on with this one. It does almost look like it might be a modern Chinese instrument. I'd be curious to see what the actual label does say on that one. Wonder if there's any more pictures on the other side. 40 to 60. Oh, there is a label here. Okay, interesting. It is actually Luthiers, so that is curious. Let's see what else we've got here. An early 20th century Jakob Steiner violin, so I think this is going to be a fairly standard trade instrument again, I would assume. No slightly quirky looking scroll there. Let's have a quick look at the back. Interesting patent number on that. Yeah, it's quite a curious scroll. 80 to 120, much used condition. Patent number 23140. Another one not possible for postage. So I think probably just another trade violin of some kind, although slightly more interesting than some of these ones. Let's have a quick look at the scroll there. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. I think we're moving away there, and I think there aren't too many more musical instruments left. So we'll be through it all soon. Got a John Broadwood and Sons upright piano. Formerly the property of Sir Arthur Sullivan. Okay, interesting. A mahogany pianette model number 22 with 82 keys, built in 1867. Okay. That's curious there. Sold directly to Sullivan in March 1867 by Broadwood and Sons London, returned by Sullivan to Broadwood in 1876 for refurbishment of the action, and returned to him. History provided by Broadwood and identified by serial number. There goes the CITES number on that. Okay, that's curious. 52800. Yeah, that's really interesting. So not every day you see that. Right, here is a very interesting violin, a 19th century English violin by George Craske. Interesting looking model there. Labelled made by George Craske, born 1795, died 1888, and sold by William E. Hill and Sons London, with 2 silver mounted bows. Okay, interesting. 1000 to 1500. So let's have a look at this a bit more. Interesting instrument. George Craske is a curious maker. Let's see what else we can see on here. Let's have a look. That's a really nice back, actually. Really interesting back on that. Very cool looking item there. I think this is possibly the most interesting item in the auction. Let's have a view of the scroll there. A lot of these Craskes have this kind of flat, kind of artificial kind of wear pattern on the back. So I'm pretty confident that this is what it claims to be. Yeah, I think it's potentially quite a nice instrument, this. It probably needs a bit of TLC, a bit of setup. I wonder if we've got any pictures of the bows there. They're not in detail, but let's see if we can zoom in. A couple of silver mounted bows of some kind. I think that's a really good lot. I suspect that will probably go for quite good money, that. So definitely a curious one there. Let's see what else we have in this auction. Got a conductor's baton there in silver. It's quite interesting. A German viola labelled Wilhelm Nürnberger, 3 to 500. Let's just have a quick look while we're here. We might as well have a look at that. Have a look at the back. I should have possibly looked at this auction via the sale room. It might have been a little bit more easy to navigate than on their website. Then I don't think there's much else left. I think there's a lot 409, which is just a single handbell, if I remember correctly, and I think this is the last musical instrument. So bronze handbell with wooden handle, 30 to 50. So interesting one there. Yeah, so there you have it. That is the Gorringe's auction. So 30 to 40 musical instruments there. Very interesting Craske violin, which is pretty cool, with these really beautiful Erard harps actually, which is really great to see. A couple of kind of curious things, conductors, batons, etc. And a whole load of things which are pretty normal. These handbells, that's pretty curious as well. So not a bad little amount of things for such a small auction, so definitely worth checking out. So as I said, I'll put a link in the description as always. See what you think, and thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.